Ahoy and welcome to episode 6 of the Dailey-Lumber Podcast.
Is it episode 6?
Yeah, it's episode
Wow.
6. Yeah.
Look at that.
That's sweet.
This week we're going to be talking about all of our soon-to-come E3 hopes and expectations, all the things that our various inside information has already confirmed for us.
Right.
So we're
Just
basically
here, present it to the people.
Yeah, we're
our
spoiling
findings.
it. We're spoiling it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll just run through a quick list of the schedule, and we can go through each one by one and see where it brings us.
Fantastic.
So it all starts off. E3 starts off before E3 starts. I'm including Summer Games. I forget. And Summer Game Fest on this, which is Thursday, June 10th, which is the morning this will get uploaded. So, watch this real quick and get your opinions because it'll be coming soon.
This is the Jeff Keighley stuff.
Jeff Keighley, yeah. I think it starts in the afternoon.
I actually forgot about that completely. So
Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned it.
I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know if this is like the kickoff, and I think it'll be running parallel to E3 at some point after that as well. So we'll see how that goes. Friday, June 11th is the Netflix Geeked Week and IGN Summer of Gaming Expo.
Netflix doing something?
I'll be honest. When I read that, my eyes were like, "What word are they trying to spell out?"
The Geeked Week. Yeah.
Yes.
That's for a loop.
Yes.
Reading that, I had to be very careful.
Yeah.
The best thing I could hope for coming out of that is season 2 of The Witcher, which would be.
Maybe that'll be on my expectations list here.
There you go.
Saturday, June 12th is the official start to E3. Huzzah, huzzah.
To be honest, Saturday isn't that exciting.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
We've
it's
got
kind of unfortunate.
Guerrilla Collective, an Ubisoft forward, and then we have some Gearbox presentation. I'm not sure how in depth that's going to be. Then Sunday,
Probably more DLC for Borderlands.
Sunday, June 13th is when things get intense. We have Microsoft and Bethesda, which will be a big show. Then it goes straight into Square Enix.
Ooh boy.
And then it's the PC Gaming Show and the Future Game Show. Then we have Monday, June 14th. We've got Take-Two Interactive, Capcom, Mythical Games, Freedom Games, and Verizon.
Right.
We learn all about new smartphones and 5G. Maybe we'll see some cool 5G stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
Some mobile gaming information.
It's probably going to be League of Legends Mobile or whatever that thing is.
And then the last day of E3, Tuesday, June 15th, we have the Nintendo Direct and Treehouse, Bandai Namco, and then Eureka Games.
Eureka.
And then I also have down here Wednesday, June 16th is the Steam Next Fest. We'll see. I'm not really sure what's going to come out of that, but maybe there'll be a cool Steam sale.
There you go.
So don't have a Steam account, but
Hey, you can make one. Who knows what deals they'll have.
Fair enough.
So let's just start off with Thursday, June 10th. Either of y'all excited for Summer Games Fest? Any thoughts, opinions, hopes, dreams?
Oh, all the hopes and dreams.
All the hopes and dreams?
Nothing specific. I mean, I think you and I briefly discussed the possibility of like some kind of Elden Ring situation coming up. For some reason, Jeff Keighley would have the scoop on that.
That appears.
That
appears to be the rumor that Elden Ring will be shown tomorrow. And
it's a big deal if it is.
At this point, whatever. If it shows up, I'm not. I hope it shows up. I don't expect it or I want to get my hopes up. But you know what?
Yeah.
If tomorrow at this time I'm watching Elden Ring trailer, I'll be pretty excited.
Yeah. Well, and with Bandai Namco having their own show, it would be very strange for them to like give that to him. Be like, yeah, you go ahead and.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's strange no matter what because there's a lot of all these developers that have their own presentations. It's like, what does Jeff Keighley have other than covering? But I mean, I know he's a up and coming or already there in this gaming world. So maybe he's got some exciting stuff. You never know.
I mean, he has to have something. He's been hyping.
He absolutely has to.
He's a hype master. He always hypes up his events, but you know what? It's just it's gravy for me. I mean, it's not even E3 yet. We're getting extra news.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Whatever he shows, I'm down with it. If it is Elden Ring, great start to the week. I'll be pretty excited.
For sure.
So I think we'll just skip to Friday because not a whole lot there on Thursday. Friday with the Netflix Netflix Geeked Week.
Geek Week.
Landy, you mentioned Witcher Season 2. I'm pretty sure they announced The Witcher's going to be there in some capacity. So
I think
that would make the most sense. I mean,
yeah.
Isn't that December this year?
And
or something?
then they had
release window.
I believe so.
Already.
Sounds right.
Maybe I'm behind the times to knowing that. The other thing is, there's kind of, I mean, it's interesting. They have, that's kind of broad as far as like what they're going to be. Obviously, probably it's going to be focused on games, but then again, like they could probably be plugging their other stuff. There's a show that I finished recently called, I think, like Shadow and Bone. I don't know if you guys have seen it around.
I've never seen it, but I know
it's
about it.
It's based on a book, and it was pretty good. Books aren't real. Yeah, true. Yeah, especially if you haven't learned how to read, like Zach.
I've never learned how to read. It's getting hard to live this lie any longer. People are starting to notice some stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, that says stop, right? It's a stop sign, clearly.
Everyone around me is
stop,
coming
right?
to a halt.
It says stop, right?
Another thing I'm excited for at this Netflix Geeked Week. I'm not sure if like excited, so where I'm intrigued. There's a Cuphead TV show coming.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they're going to show this at the Netflix Geeked Week. And
live action.
Yeah, live action. It's a guy. It's something. It's going to look something kind of like this, but with a Cuphead outfit.
We always have that ready in your back pocket.
But yeah,
I was picturing like Dwayne the Rock Johnson with like a cigar in his mouth.
There you go.
And like just a straw taped to his head.
There you go.
And just like.
And Vin
I made
Diesel
a deal with the devil.
Vin Diesel is Mugman, of course.
He would play the crap out of Cuphead. He would be great.
What's interesting, the art style from this, it looks kind of like Cuphead, the game, but it also looks like almost looks like a Mickey Mouse and Cuphead like mashup.
It absolutely makes sense. I mean, if you mean like old school Mickey Mouse, then that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little more animated, a little more. It looks a little happier, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, like anything. I don't know if they've confirmed anything yet, but they've done Castlevania, on Netflix, and that's obviously based on a game. That show is really good.
I believe that's also at this event. I don't know. The season 4 just came out, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they would talk about, but I guess there's, based on how it ends. I mean,
look how cool our new season is.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that, but there's room for them to do spin-offs and stuff. I don't know. I think they said that this was like the last season of like that series, but there may be spin-offs related to it. So I don't know if they'd already be
now they
ready
start
to announce those.
Their Metroid show, and they'll make a Metroidvania show after that.
And then a crossover, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I'd be excited to see any other video game related, animated shows that they show off. That'd be cool. And they call it Geek Week. Now, but is it lasting for a week or?
Could not tell you.
Okay, well, that's okay, interesting.
Maybe they'll pull the rug out from us, and we'll get the years and years long rumored Zelda TV show. I'm just kidding.
That would be really cool. It would be cool if we got that, but
yeah, it's definitely not happening.
Yeah.
I could also see them doing something like, hey, during this whole week, all of like this content that normally you wouldn't be able to just watch on their online, you now can watch. Like announcing like a week of all this special stuff.
Like a week of like free viewing, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Or like additional content or something that they got like a temporary licensing for their streaming that they wouldn't normally have.
I am excited to hear more about The Witcher. I liked the first season. The first season was I liked it. I liked their idea with what they were doing with like the I won't spoil for people who haven't seen it, but like their the way they dealt with the time.
Non-linear storytelling.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great way of saying it. Non-linear storytelling. My small brain can't think of things like that.
I mean, there's 3 main characters, and they followed them in their respective times until they.
And I liked it, but I don't think they did they didn't kill it. They didn't do it perfect.
No.
It was a little. You had to really pay attention sometimes to get like their hints a little more than you probably should have had to. But
Yeah. Still good. I enjoyed it.
I believe season 2 they did say will be a linear story.
Well, based on makes sense.
Yeah.
Like where
based off where you leave off.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other thoughts on Netflix Geeked Week or the IGN Expo? I mean, maybe IGN might announce some random indie games, but I'm not expecting a whole lot of that.
I was gonna say, with the Summer Games Fest, I mean, Netflix, I don't know what they have to talk about, but the Summer Games Fest and IGN's Summer of Gaming, those things separate from the main E3 conference, they could have anything. Like who knows what's in there? So I'll just wait. We'll wait and see.
It's all gravy. Let's be
gravy.
honest. Thursday and Friday, I'm playing Final Fantasy and I'm playing Ratchet and Clank. So this is just all in the background. Whatever.
Big time.
Whatever happens, happens.
Yep.
But now let's get into Saturday, the first day of E3, and we're gonna kick it off with Guerrilla Collective. Let me know all y'all have to know about Guerrilla Collective.
Well, I didn't look too much into it, but I think this is the second one they've done of this.
Okay.
And my understanding, based on a brief description,
they started last week, like last Saturday, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they. Yeah, I didn't see the exact date, but based on something I read, it's like a lot of indie game stuff or something like that. Like I don't know if there's anything exciting that's going to come out of that. I think they're just kind of. I don't know how related it is to E3 because, like you said, I think they started last week, so maybe it's just kind of what they're doing. But who knows? I mean, all I know, Guerrilla, obviously Horizon, but
is this the same Guerrilla?
Is it not? I don't want to misspeak. If it is not, then I have no idea.
That's what I said. I don't think it is. I don't know.
Okay, then I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
I apologize.
Also, do you see the distinction between the 8 a.m. and then the 10 a.m. is the wholesome direct?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I think things are just going to get real happy. It's going to be a nice Saturday morning. You're going to be sipping on your coffee, looking out the window.
Oh,
nice and wholesome.
Glorious. That sounds great. That sounds like a good time.
Oh, it's going to be what I do on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, same.
While also playing video games and having 4 monitors around me with all my...
Yes.
I was going to say, it's going to be your first day in a week not having to wake up super early and get in the car.
There we go.
It'll be full-on Megadesk.
Full-on Megadesk. Next is the Ubisoft Forward. And for my hopes, I just have written down Mario and Rabbids. Just Mario and Rabbids. If they... maybe there's going to be a sequel to that game. I never played Mario and Rabbids. I just think it's a hilarious game, and I want them to make another one so I can listen to everyone talk about it.
So you can not play it. So you can refuse to buy it.
I have taken a stance on that game, and if it was Mario versus generic rabbits, I would have already had the game.
Yeah, literally like generic, regular rabbits.
Mario versus anything. But the rabbits just are... I've taken a bold stance against them.
Yeah,
and, I'm sorry if that upsets anybody, but any other? Y'all have any hopes for Ubisoft?
Yeah, I don't know in the realm of maybe a little more grounded in reality. I read something recently.
You don't think Rabbids will be coming out?
I
think a sequel is perfectly reasonable to expect, but
yeah. I think you're right. Rabbids. The title hypothesis is a little bit out of left field, but due for an Assassin's Creed maybe, and
maybe some DLC.
Because with how many that they come out with, and I saw an article recently that was talking about, and I don't even remember who it was from, but talking about that they don't want to do stealth focused Assassin's Creed games anymore, which
they haven't
is a little weird to me.
Games.
Right, exactly. And now with what the last couple of games have done, they're like, all right, we're done with that. Clearly everybody likes this better. So, that's always going to be interesting to see how they kind of play around with that idea now that they're sort of sold into the idea of not doing stealth anymore. Maybe they'll kind of commit to something a little more spectacular. Who knows? That's kind of my prediction.
What's the next Assassin's Creed setting?
Well, I think there's rumors of this. So, and it's supposed to. I was going to touch on that. It's supposed to be like some kind of medieval night type situation.
Sneaking around, clank, clank.
Yeah,
clank.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, just to Andrew's point about leaving behind stealth, I mean that would certainly. There's nothing stealthy about you in 100 pounds of armor. Who goes there? Well, yeah, I guess if everyone's in a suit of armor, if yours is like slightly,
Yeah, of course.
it's darker colored for the nighttime stealth actions, maybe then it's full works. I don't
Yes.
know. but other than that, I mean, it's Ubisoft is a weird one for me because I know there's several things like in the works with them. Like there's some kind of what's it called, Riders Republic. Have you seen that? It's like a bicycles riding around like racing stuff. Like have you not?
I've heard the names Riders Republic. I've never.
It
looked
may be
into
more
it.
than just like bikes. It might be other
When you
forms
said
of
bicycle,
transportation.
any other form of transportation, I would be like, oh, of course, it's just one of those
Yeah,
games. But
no,
you said
bicycles for sure.
sounds
Like yeah, not like motocross, right? Like bicycles. I'm pretty sure.
I'm down for a good bicycle game.
I would say like BMX and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But as far as Assassin's Creed goes, like what they currently have, so they have one DLC out already, I believe, for Valhalla,
Didn't that just
and
come
I'm pretty
out?
sure. I'm pretty sure they have confirmed another one. I don't know if they have 3. I think it's just 2 that they've mentioned. So I bet they'll show off more of that. I think the first DLC just came out like a month ago or less. So I haven't played that game since I finished it, like the main game. I put it down, and I don't know if I'll ever play the DLC. 'Cause it's a lot. It was fun, but it got to the point where it was just kind of a lot of the same, and I was just trying to get through the story, taking forever, and yeah, that game didn't do enough for me.
Creed game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I felt that kind of just fatigue with Odyssey as well, but I still enjoyed Odyssey setting. So I don't know how much Ubisoft could show off on Saturday that would like really interest me, but who knows? Surprise me.
Yeah. All I have for like my thoughts, I have expectations. They'll probably have something Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC. They'll probably
For sure.
They'll have something to show. It's their I don't know if they'll show a new game or not. If they do, it'll be very, very, very light teasing. They're not going to show like a trailer or anything.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But then we
I
have
mean, they could show like a super cinematic, like 10-second trailer.
Yeah.
That's what they typically.
of a man
So-
sneaking in
Yeah,
very
in
quiet
an armor.
armor.
Yeah. A full suit of armor.
This next one could be interesting. Gearbox Entertainment. There have been some rumors swirling around. People are talking about a new Borderlands spinoff. You heard about
Spinoff?
this?
I'm not.
I am a little wary of Borderlands spin-offs, but go ahead and tell me what they're
So
talking about.
a la the pre-sequel. Landy, you know of Tiny Tina, correct? From the
She was in Borderlands 3, wasn't
oh, she's in 3. Well,
Yeah.
she's from 2, I believe. I didn't know if you.
she? Yeah,
played
yeah,
2.
but
She's in Borderlands 2 first, and then she's in Borderlands.
So the rumor is there's going to be a new Borderlands spinoff with Tiny Tina being the focus. So
I think I have heard about this.
I don't know what that's going to look like, but Borderlands
bet
is
it's not gonna
Borderlands
be-
at the end of the day. Even if
Yeah.
the story's awful, Borderlands 3 story wasn't that good either. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you say
Why
it's
break a
gonna be-
trend?
there you go.
Are we saying Tiny Tina's going to be like the protagonist that you play as, or
I think she'll be a playable character that is like the focus of the story, is what I would have to guess.
do you think this will be like a
Alright.
first-person shooter? Because there's
Yeah,
like
it
those
would be like
Telltale
it would be
games.
Borderlands, like
Okay.
a Borderlands game. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I'm picturing like a Bejeweled type game where you like swipe bombs
Yeah,
to
there
like
we go.
match
Hey,
up
that's
bombs with
really
each other and
creative.
blow stuff up. That's
That could be
that's,
So you
interesting.
gotta
that's
get in
the
touch with
Borderlands
Gearbox.
spin-off that I'm picturing.
Landy, did you play the Tiny Tina DLC from Borderlands 2?
I don't know if I did play that one. I've played a couple of them.
You're playing a Dungeons and Dragons. Like she's the dungeon master. You're
Oh,
playing
okay.
through it. It's like a fantasy world with like fantasy enemies. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. She
so I
clearly is not very grounded in reality.
No, she's
in
not.
that
That's
game.
why I think if they do make a game, maybe it's not her through. Maybe it's not through her eyes, but maybe through her narration, and it's like just
Yeah.
completely off the walls. Everything goes.
Yeah.
just
I
wild.
got it. Medieval times stealth game
There we go.
with Tiny
There we go.
Tina
There we go.
narrating.
You got me. Yep.
I think
Wait
I
a
think
minute.
you've
This
about
sounds
spoiled
familiar.
you've spoiled the show here.
Sorry, everybody. I try not to, but sometimes just the intuition just.
Sticking with Gearbox here, Sir Lumber, ready for that Godfall DLC? New
I'm not.
Godfall update?
Have they released anything yet besides like maybe
the Primal
regular
update. You haven't
updates?
been playing the Primal update?
Oh jeez, no.
They made it all awesome. They added a
Yeah.
different version of the same song that plays.
Da, 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 da.
It's a great song. It was worth the 60 times I listened to it.
Yeah, it was cool-ish the first time I heard it.
The best part about that game is literally when you just have the disc in, or you scroll over it on the PlayStation and you just
Yeah.
listen to it on the TV.
Yeah,
Because
it's inspiring.
the main
And don't
theme song
press
is pretty
X
cool.
to start the
don't
game.
press X to
No.
start the game.
Yeah. Now that game, the biggest disappointment so far.
That game, like it started here, I was so excited. It like went here and it just went linear down. Just
Well,
the
yeah, just
whole
like
way.
think about like just how it was described, a looter slasher. Like that sounds awesome. From the guys who made, I guess it's just Gearbox who published, right? They did not develop, but still Borderlands, So yeah, a lot of potential there, just in genre alone.
And the game, it looks good and it looks cool, but it also looks very samey. A lot of the areas are just like different color variations of the same thing.
Yep. Same with the enemies and
enemies.
the combat. Everything's just repetitive and boring.
Like
and
the first 5 hours of that game, I was like, this is going to be a lot of fun. It looks really cool. Like I was expecting
5 hours. I think it was probably the first hour.
Sorry, maybe first.
We probably put
let's
like
give it an
6
hour
to
or
8
2.
hours into that.
I forgot we only put like 8 hours in the game total.
Yeah.
And the last 3 were just
Yeah, I think 5 hours in we knew what we were in.
Yeah, that's
we knew
fair.
what we had.
Well, how about this? The first sit down with that game, that was a pretty good time.
Sure.
Was
yeah.
it worth my $70? I will not answer that question.
Well, not commit, but
You have to
I'll
listen
commit
to it
to
in
an
the PS5 menu a couple more times.
There we
to
go.
decide
yeah.
that.
Maybe
No, that
I'll-
game has long been uninstalled from my PS. So
I don't think you have to have it installed to listen to the song.
I would like the app doesn't even appear on like my that.
Oh, you've got rid of it? Like,
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, not the save data, but like the game is uninstalled.
He-
It's gone.
Thanos snapped it.
another thing I don't like about the game is it's always online, even if you play single player.
Yep.
And the menus, everything's sluggish because of that. The PS5
Because it relies on the connect. Yeah.
PS5 is so snappy, and you just get bogged down by.
Whatever your internet happens to be. So.
Online.
Well, I'm glad we turned half this into just hating on Godfall, but I'm here
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah,
I'm here
right.
for it.
Look at
It's
it.
always a fun discussion.
They might not even talk about Godfall. And
No,
here
they
we
will.
are.
They have to.
They have to. It's
What
their
else are they gonna talk
It's their
about?
marquee game.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to something a little more positive. Let's move to Sunday, June 13th, with the Microsoft and
yeah.
Bethesda showcase.
Sweet.
Anything stick out to y'all? What's showing up here?
Well, I think
Skyrim.
PS5 Skyrim.
PS5 Skyrim.
PS5 Skyrim.
I mean, let's
We're
be
releasing
honest,
it. You're
that's-
buying it. You know it.
That is a non-zero chance. Like that might happen.
How many E3s in a row have we announced a new version of Skyrim? That's what I want to know. I just want you to think about that.
If that happened, I would not even.
Yeah.
I'm not-
No expression change.
No, I'm not excited. I'm not upset. I'm not surprised. Just nothing. It's just whatever.
Yeah. And you're gonna buy it.
Mr. Krabs,
I will not.
Yeah.
I will not contribute. I've already
Well-
not played my PS4 version that much.
Right.
But
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that I think they've already confirmed actually that Halo Infinite will be there, so that'll be cool
what's
to
showing
see
up for
from
Halo
Xbox.
Infinite? What do you think?
They got I mean, more games. I guess maybe try to highlight. They last showed it because they're upset, so because nobody's ever happy about anything. So I don't know. Maybe they'll show some multiplayer.
I think multiplayer is going to be the focus. If you look at the key art they showed for their show, it's not Master Chief. It's just a Spartan.
Oh.
So I think it's going to be multiplayer. They'll show something campaign, but I
Yeah.
think it'll be multiplayer focused.
Another cutscene or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, I don't know if they've announced this or if this is just a rumor, but I'm pretty sure multiplayer is free. I don't remember what avenue. If that's been
Like you can install that separately
Yes.
and play it only that. Okay.
Yes, I'm pretty sure they said that. They being Microsoft.
Yeah.
But
Would not surprise me.
Yeah, I think that was
A lot of companies are following that model.
It's a good way to compete multiplayer wise. if people just want.
It'll probably do well if it's. I mean, if it's good, it'll do. Yeah, people will
And
flock
then-
to that. I'm
and then-
sure.
I mean, the game's gonna be on Game Pass, so it's gonna be free for some people anyway. But
Me.
yeah, I think some multiplayer would be cool. Maybe announce a beta or some sort of
Sure.
late summer test run of the multiplayer, assuming it comes out in the fall this year.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
Could
think?
be.
What do you think, Landy? You ever play Halo?
Yeah, man. I played Reach back in the day, and I think I ended on Halo 4 on the PS3.
The PS3, interesting.
Yeah, way back, OG days. I don't think that's right. That doesn't sound right at all. Yeah, it was on the Xbox 360.
Okay, there we
Close.
go. There we go.
I've slept a couple times since then. Hang on, I'm awake now. All right, yeah. Xbox,
No worries.
because
You have a very
Xbox.
exclusive version. There's no one online. What's going on?
What's going on?
This
This game sucks. Trash.
Yeah, trash.
No, Halo 4 though. That was on the 360, right? Am I tripping for that?
I think so.
Right.
Maybe that might have been early Xbox One. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like it was at the very end.
That isn't. I mean, do they really only have one Halo game on the Xbox One? That would be interesting.
Well, they'll have two here shortly when Halo Infinite
Yes,
joins
but
it.
but it's just like for that whole. I mean, obviously we have the Xbox Series. That would surprise
Well,
me.
they
on one of those games.
amongst the Halo fans, the current developer 343, they are not as productive or as what's the word? Their product is
Motivated?
not. Well, I'm just saying they people like a lot of the Halo fans like Bungie
Yeah.
product a little bit better, and they're doing Destiny, and they'll be doing Destiny forever because
Forever.
Destiny is, isn't it funny how Destiny? They should have just stuck with Destiny 1, but they went to Destiny 2. Now Destiny 2 is the thing that gets built on forever.
Yeah.
Strange.
Is that what's going to happen, or is it going to be a Destiny 3?
Who knows?
Like,
But speaking of games that go on forever, maybe we'll get some sort of look at how Halo Infinite is going to last the next 10 years, because they've said they want Halo Infinite to last a long time. I wonder if they'll dive into how that's going to happen, if multiplayer will have some sort of season functionality, a battle pass kind of deal.
yeah.
A Spartan
Its
pass.
name is Infinite after all.
Exactly.
It's true. I'm sure there's some thought behind that.
What's next for Microsoft? We thinking a Forza, some Forza action?
So yeah, I have that down. I've seen talk about Forza Motorsport. I would be more interested in Forza Horizon. I played Forza Horizon 4 on Xbox Game Pass recently, and it looks very I guess the mechanics of it are not like super play.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. So it'd be cool. I mean, for Horizon 4 was like kind of an open world deal, which is not what you think about when racing games. But it was kind of cool. You drive from place, and it was fun.
I've got good news for you. It's It's one of those like leaks that's not like a guy on Reddit. It's like the next Forza is gonna be Forza Horizon.
Okay.
It's gonna take
I
place.
thought I saw talk about Motorsport, but maybe both.
People thought it'd be Motorsport because that's what's next. I think it was Motorsport then Horizon, and then it's gonna be Horizon then Motorsport.
Oh, okay.
But it takes place in Mexico.
This sounds familiar now, actually.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this might be like one of the bigger things they show that's coming up pretty soon. And
Nice.
it'll be on both. It'll be on the OG Xbox VCR, which is just hilarious to me. I can't imagine playing a game in like 2022 or even late 2021 on that.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But I think that thing outputs not even in 1080p. I think it's like 900p.
No way.
I'm pretty sure it's
Oh
not.
my gosh.
I'm not.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that thing's.
Yeah.
It's not fantastic.
Not relevant.
Um,
Yeah.
Back to the Bethesda side, are we thinking? What's the big Bethesda game? Y'all have it on y'all's list?
Well, I'd like to see Starfield, because I don't know much about it. I don't think anyone knows.
No one knows anything about it.
Yeah. So, which is fine. But yeah, like a Skyrim in space, that kind of detail and kind of RPG that would be really cool. I mean, that would be all up in that.
That would be really cool. That's the funny thing is like there's not any like when I say leaks or rumors, there's like you always got to watch what you're listening to people say, but no one is making like rumors of what this game is. No one knows what this game is. It's like people know that
crazy.
It exists. There were some leaked screenshots that Bethesda has acknowledged are from a very old build of the game. But that's all that there is. It's just like screenshots from a couple years ago.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, very blurry, like basic space pictures.
They were taken on a flip phone somehow.
Isn't it funny how that works? How it's always a flip phone taken like this. Someone's running by the room. Like, I gotta go.
Check out this screenshot.
I think Starfield will be a big focus of this show. It's going to be, Bethesda's their biggest developer now. Really, I mean, think about it.
Yep. Oh yeah.
The biggest studio, and Elder Scrolls isn't going to be here. I think Elder Scrolls is too far off. I don't know.
Right. That's what they said. Haven't they like said like Starfield is?
Yeah. I think they're going to show that game. I think they'll show some gameplay. They'll explain what it is. I'm hoping it's Space Skyrim.
Yeah.
That'd be super awesome.
That'd be badass. I mean, we had basically space Fallout with Outer Worlds. I don't know if you guys played that game, but that game was sweet. So
right now, that's on Game Pass.
A little bit deeper into that.
We'll get back.
I want to play that. It's on Game Pass.
I'll speak on Outer Worlds here in a second, but what would y'all think of maybe if what if Starfield isn't a Fallout or Skyrim? Like, what if it's like a No Man's Sky, like giant exploration, but like something like that? More of an
like done correctly. Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, No Man's Sky is good now, from what I understand.
It's good now. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I don't know if
I
guess
have
this
over there.
It'll be an RPG. If it'll be a big exploration game. I'm down for anything. I think it could be.
No,
cool.
sure, yeah. I just want to see more about it. Yeah.
We'll see. Landy, you mentioned Outer Worlds. I'm pretty sure Outer Worlds 2 is literally happening. That was in like some leaked documents.
Oh yeah.
So Outer Worlds 2 exists, and I don't know if they'll show it here or not. What's that? Obsidian that makes Outer Worlds?
That's Obsidian, and they have something else.
Avowed.
Yep. I was thinking
they could show Avowed. I mean, who knows how far along that game is?
We've just seen a very cinematic cutscene.
Now, Obsidian is former Bethesda developers, correct? Like that made Fallout and Skyrim, and now they're making like Outer Worlds and Avowed, which are just like the same games.
Yeah.
And now they happen to.
Are they not? They're still under. I guess they're Microsoft. They're Microsoft studio. They're not a Bethesda studio.
Yeah, so it's Bethesda, and then Obsidian broke off of them, and then Microsoft's like, we have both of you now. Now y'all are friends again. Why don't y'all make a game?
You guys are making basically duplicates of the same game.
I think it's pretty funny. If Microsoft owns simultaneously the company making Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and then the company that broke off of them making Fallout and Elder Scrolls ripoffs, I think that's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, well, and you call them ripoffs, but I guess they were the core
poetic justice.
They'll be good games. I'm not, but it's you can only do so much without the IP. It's like making a Mario game, but it's just regular man that jumps.
And he's regular plumber
boy.
Plumber.
Or he's like an electrician. He's like
an electrician. Yeah. He's just a very nice beard.
EW worker.
Yes, I work for IBM. I'm a computer technician.
Y'all have any other hopes and dreams, expectations for Microsoft?
The only thing, let me see. One thing I had on here.
Bill Gates is going to announce mind control.
Yeah, jeez. It'd be interesting if we saw something about Elden Ring, given the apparent partnership between Xbox and I guess Bandai Namco or whatever, FromSoft. And I think we've maybe mentioned this before, or talked about it separately, but like that partnership no longer marketing, whatever they had no longer exists.
There's been a lot of interesting, take everything with a grain of salt because Elden Ring hasn't existed for 2 years, but I've been like reading a lot of interesting stuff about like Microsoft might not even have the marketing deal anymore. And
was it confirmed that they had it at all?
well, they did show it the first time at
Yeah, but was that like a deal that's like an exclusive, like something?
I don't think it would have been
with
exclusive. They would have had just some sort of marketing rights. And I don't have the paper in front of me. I doubt they have public information on this. But it was like it's one of those things you could just kind of tell.
Yeah.
We just saw some Battlefield 6 today. Battlefield 2042.
Right. Yeah, I guess it's technically 6, right?
Yeah, because 4 plus 2 is 6, I guess. And
well, but there's another 2 in there.
And
oh my God.
It is not a read.
Battlefield 6 will probably be at this event too. I think Battlefield 6 will be here.
Battlefield 6 and Battlefield.
Yeah, does EA have a time slot?
EA does not have a time slot at E3, I don't believe.
They have a separate EA Play thing, or like some weird,
But EA has a mutual interest with Microsoft. EA Play, is that what it's called? EA Play. What's the thing in Game Pass?
That's the subscription service. Yeah, I think that's what I was
Game
thinking
Pass. And there's a lot of talk like, what if Battlefield went to Game Pass? I don't know if it will. That'd be a huge game to go to Game Pass.
Yeah, but if it goes to the EA subscription, it will go to Game Pass.
Yes.
It will. So yeah.
I just don't know if it will or not. I don't know if they want to make their money off that, or if they want to.
They make enough off of FIFA, don't they?
Yep. Now, yeah, they can make all their money on FIFA just ripping people off.
They do, basically, practically. So in Madden.
But I think we'll see some Battlefield gameplay. Pretty cool. They announced it's
I
going
need
to
to
be
watch that trailer.
128 player battles.
Oh yeah, that's nuts.
That'll be pretty fun. I can't wait to get destroyed by some guy with 600 kills.
Yeah.
Yeah. On day one.
Day one, yeah. No ifs, ands, or buts. Someone's doing it.
Yeah.
So later on that day, this is a big day, Sunday.
This is arguably, compared to Nintendo, what you're about to say, one I'm most excited for.
That's what I was going to say. This might be what I'm most excited for, barring Nintendo. At Square Enix. They have so much stuff Square Enix could say here. A lot of games I'm interested in.
Start?
Well, where do you start? Why don't you start us off? What do you want to see here?
Well, and aside from what I think they have specifically mentioned, like what's that game called?
Avengers will be there. You ready to see the new Avengers update?
No, I'm not interested in that. But what's it called? Babylon's Fall or something?
Fall.
Yeah, which I think I've seen. I remember seeing the trailer for that a while back, whenever it was, which looks interesting. I'm more. So
you cut out there for a few seconds. You repeat.
Oh, sorry about that. So I don't know how interested I am in Babylon's Fall.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen enough of it. Yeah. But I'm interested in all things Final Fantasy.
Yes.
That is what I care about.
There's going to be a lot. I'm predicting a lot of Final Fantasy here, from a lot of different angles too. I don't think it'll just be like. I don't think it'll just be Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 16, I think, is a given. I think we'll see some gameplay here for the first time.
We're going to see something new, though. I think.
Yes.
Something new, Final Fantasy that we haven't. We don't. That are maybe that we have not seen anything about. For sure though.
Yeah. So I'm thinking just the safe low level base layer. I think we'll see Final Fantasy 16 gameplay, and then maybe a release window. Maybe not a date, but like a, early 2022, holiday 2021, whatever they say.
You think we should expect a similar battle system to what I guess Final Fantasy VII Remake has, and I guess Final Fantasy 15 has?
It's something similar in 15. This 16 has the gameplay. I don't know if I might be butchering the exact title, like gameplay director or gameplay for Devil May Cry 5. So it's gonna be. People are thinking it's gonna be an action game, like a straight up action game.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, and they do mix up their gameplay. Like every numbered entry, it's always different.
There was a time where they were doing it every iteration of their games. It's different. So, yeah, it's interesting.
I think Final Fantasy 16 will be there. You predicting this year or next year for release?
Well, I think it maybe depends on the other thing that we've heard about and when that is slated to release. And I don't know what is the priority for them over there. Like, there's this possibly Dark Souls inspired, Final Fantasy, game that's like a tie-in to the first Final.
Yep.
Possibly made by Team Ninja, at Koei Tecmo, guys who made Neo, the Neo games. So, I mean, I don't know which one I'm more interested in, to be honest. They both, I mean, obviously we've seen a bit of 16,
Yep.
looks great. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one. It's hard to say what release window for 16.
Landy, you played Neo. I know you played the Souls games, but have you played Neo?
Yeah, I did. I think I played both. Yeah, and
That's good.
It was good. I think the interesting thing about it was that it wasn't so cut and dry about the stat building, because certain stats helped your weapon that weren't intuitive, if that made sense.
Yeah.
So you could
yeah.
run spear, and by upgrading your health, you also helped your spear damage,
Yeah.
which
Well,
was like,
I'm big on spear
Yeah.
damage.
Well, and that's the thing that with Neo, like, there was incentive to upgrade like multiple stats that you like. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm like in Dark Souls, I'm upgrading strength build, and that's what I'm going with. But like Andrew said, that like there would be a stat for health, but upgrading this stat also impacts your other this particular
Spear
weapon
damage.
Spear damage. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how if there's any inspiration from Neo or that.
So, if this is true and they're making the Neo people are making a Final Fantasy Souls-like, does the prospect of because Final Fantasy 1 is fantasy, I'm pretty sure it's like literally like fantasy.
Yeah.
Does a fantasy setting for a Neo game / Souls game excite you?
Yeah, I mean, Neo is basically just a step ahead of that. I mean, there's like rifles and stuff they use. It's like the I don't know, when is it? What's the time period for those games, Andrew? 1700s or something?
Japan? No.
I
Feudal
would
Japan.
say like 18th century.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
18th
yeah, I mean,
century. And I mean, there's
something-
demons and all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's already kind of there.
It's something that
In a
team
lot of
can
ways,
easily
but-
handle. So
Yeah.
there's magic and I mean, Neo's not a far step from that.
That's one thing I want to see. One thing I liked about the reason Dark Souls 3 is so high on my list, even over like Bloodborne, is the magic, and I love like being able to cast spells. As a form of weapon. And I think a Final Fantasy Souls game could do that easy.
Oh yeah, big time.
Have like a fire spell or a Blizzaga in your left hand, and
Yeah.
like a sword in your right hand.
Yeah,
Be pretty
for
sweet.
sure. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see some cheesy Final Fantasy characters. I want them to yell like "chill out" and like
Right,
"this is gonna
right.
burn" and stupid
Of
stuff every
course.
time you attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna shock
As
you.
in the summon that you summon for the boss fight.
There you go.
Yeah,
Summons
yeah.
could be cool.
Yep.
In a game like that.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. What are you thinking about a release window for like 16? You asked me. I don't know.
I feel like it's going to be next year. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, as much as I want it to come out this year, it's going to be June before they show any gameplay. And they're just like,
Yeah.
it comes out in 5 months. I mean,
Yeah.
it could happen. I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like they've got a lot going on at Square, a lot of different Final Fantasy stuff.
Yep.
I think one thing they could drop early this year that would excite me, I would love to see in some way playable any of the Final Fantasies 1 through 6, remade or not.
Yeah. I have that down as well, like either ports or remake
Ports, remakes,
the old games.
remake the games in the Octopath style like they're doing. with
Oh,
Dragon
dude,
Quest
you can't
3.
get enough of that. Can't get enough
I'll
of that.
play anything in the Octopath style.
Have you played anything besides Octopath other than like the demo for Triangle Strategy? Like, have you actually played? Is there anything else that
Project Triangle Strategy you're referring to?
Project Triangle Strategy? Is there anything else? Like, obviously, experience to know you like that style,
No,
and I agree. But is there anything else even out?
I think those are the only two, and they're HD 2D.
Yeah. Yeah.
They like that's a series they have. They have like a logo for HD 2D. They show it in the trailers before these games.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm all for. I've always wanted to play Final Fantasy 6. I would love a Final Fantasy 6 in that style. Chrono Trigger is another game I've always wanted to play. That's like
Yep.
doesn't exist in the way I want to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Final Fantasies 1 through 6. They could make a collection. I would buy it.
Oh, it could easily do that.
An
Yeah.
easy port job, I'd buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is
Yep,
one
I
thing
agree.
I don't think we'll see, and if we do see it, I don't think it'll be much. Final Fantasy VII Intergrade comes out like
Tomorrow.
a few hours from now, really, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
And I think they might signal boost that a little bit. They'll show some another trailer for that or some gameplay. They'll show something
Sure.
just to like remind people that it's out. But as far as part 2, if it's there at all, it'll be like the last thing they show, and it'll be like the teaseriest of teasers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be like-
But it'll get people hyped.
They'll show all this stuff, all this gameplay that looks good, and then they'll be like, we have one more thing. It's going to be like a 4-second clip of Sephiroth saying something dumb, and everyone's
Yeah,
going to freak
yeah.
out. It's going to be
Yeah.
meaningless, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, did y'all see the Final Fantasy VII Part 2 teaser trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, it'd be cool if they showed like some crazy like landscape, like a Breath of the Wild style coming out, like what's
Yeah.
what's the name of the planet? Gaia.
Gaia.
Yeah. So of like then the different, you can see different towns. People are gonna analyze.
Oh, dude. It'd be so easy. Just make some generic like planet image and just like people
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, they could do it.
While we're on the topic of Final Fantasy VII Remake, one of us is even more shameful than the other two, and that is Mr. Landy down there is still working his way through the remake, taking his sweet time.
Slowly sinking into the
What?
abyss.
Who are you talking about?
What are you talking about? That's
Who are you
impressive.
talking about?
The depth you got there is actually kind of impressive.
Yeah.
But
It's my
I know.
escape route.
I know we'll be playing Intergrade the next
boy.
week. I'm gonna be blasting through that. You gonna play through the game naturally, back through all the way.
Me? Or
It's my revenge for not having PS5, because I'm gonna just go through that game very slow and just milk it
yeah.
out.
Yep. There you
Yeah,
go.
I
Well,
guess-
then you have plenty of time to play the original before getting a PS5.
It's so
So.
lovely. It's such a good game to go back to. What sucks for you is if say you do end up loving the rest of Final Fantasy VII Remake and you want to play Intergrade, you won't be able to
PS5
buy
exclusive.
it for $20. Well, even if you have PS5, because you have the free version for PS
Yeah.
Plus, and they were very specific. If you have that version, you can't get the DLC for.
Yeah.
They
right.
want
Or no,
their
you don't
money.
get you don't get the free upgrade. And
Yeah,
you
but
don't get-
if you buy Intergrade
Yeah.
on PS5, for $70 you get the DLC with that.
So I'm wondering, can you play? So if you have the base PS4 version, not the free upgrade, but the base PS4 version, can you play that on a PS5 and then spend the $20 for the Yuffie DLC? Or is it because it's not Intergrade, you can't play the Yuffie DLC?
Time will tell. We can.
Yeah, it's a good
We
question.
can do that research.
We're hours away.
I feel like the DLC is included in Intergrade, which is a separate game. So I feel like you'd have to have access to that game with the free
Yeah,
upgrade.
I have to see how it's going to work out, and that's what I'll be testing tomorrow. I don't know exactly, like, is it two separate apps, and then like the DLC goes to one of them? Like, I don't get it.
It's
But
very
we'll
strange.
see what happens. Yeah.
Any more Square Enix hopes? Maybe what's that game called? Forspoken, the Project.
Forspoken,
Athia?
that is Square Enix, yeah. They could definitely talk about that. I bet they will, actually. I thought that was one of the ones. Is it not one of the Seb was going to be there? Maybe not.
I don't remember. I think it was just Babylon's Fall and Avengers, and then
Gotcha.
more. They left it very vague, even though people know they're going to have what Final Fantasy.
Yeah, as if they're not going to talk about their biggest franchise ever.
We've talked a lot
Yeah.
of Square. Is there going to be any Enix here? Any of the Enix side? Any Dragon Quest?
Don't know.
just had the
I
Dragon
didn't even
Quest
think
event.
about that. Yeah.
Is that going to be it for Dragon Quest? Are they going to have any more teasers or updates for?
Do we know how long?
I'm
the
sure
presentation
they
is?
sprinkle something in.
Just say Dragon Quest. Just
Yeah, they just tell it.
So this one starts at 12:15, and the next event doesn't start until 2:30. So
It gets probably like, because there's
Got,
like,
2 hours,
some fluff in
15
the
minutes.
middle. Yeah, I doubt it'll be that long.
Yeah,
but-
I'm sure there is.
all of
Yeah.
It's the same length. It's the same length of time between that one and then between Xbox and Bethesda that was before it.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a thing we forgot to mention about Bethesda. That's a 90-minute show, the Bethesda and Xbox show.
Oh, okay.
That's
Gotcha.
a
Wow.
lot of a lot of potential there to show.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so the same time gap is in between those, so it could be just as long. I mean, they have enough time to do it. So
I don't personally have a whole lot to say about the PC gaming show or the feature games show on Sunday. Anything
Nope.
y'all have to add there?
Nah.
No.
It'll be on the background.
So
guess.
straight on to Monday morning when we have Take-Two Interactive.
PC gaming could have Monster Hunter, which would be cool to me, but that's all I have to
Well,
say.
I think Monster Hunter is a
I'm-
little more likely on Monday when we have the Capcom show.
most
Yeah,
likely,
but it's probably. I
meant
seriously doubt. they're
pre-release.
gonna-
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
PC release. Yeah.
No, well,
I seriously doubt they're gonna say much.
I bet you
about Rise.
Nintendo has a deal with them where you will not mention that PC release for X amount of months or like because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've already said there's going to be a PC release of that game.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm certain that they're not allowed to even mention anything about that, even in reference, for probably
Yeah.
6
Good
months
point.
to a year.
Good point.
But let's jump to Capcom. What do we have? It's a Monday, June 14th. Any thoughts for Capcom?
Looking for maybe a Resident Evil 4 remake.
Resident Evil 4 remake.
Perhaps?
Resident Evil 4 is in an interesting boat right now. Have you been hearing about that lawsuit going on with them?
Oh no! What?
The original Resident Evil 4. So y'all remember the Capcom like Giga Leak from early this year or last
think
year?
so, yeah,
Like all
yeah.
their plans for like the next 5 years got out.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of internal documents got out, and an artist who worked on I guess some graphic novels or novels from around the time when Resident Evil 4 originally came out, found out that they used a lot of their artwork, like just verbatim, just stole it for Resident Evil 4, and they've been selling that game by the millions for like
Yeah.
since like 2002 or whatever
Yeah.
that game came out.
Yeah.
They're like in a huge a pretty indefensible lawsuit
Yeah.
right now.
How did
yeah.
you just now figure that out, though? Is like
You're right.
I guess.
So
Yeah.
so I think it was when the documents showing their inspiration were like put there in front, like what it was. I don't know.
Where like until then they couldn't prove. They're like, this is really similar to my artwork,
Yeah.
and then once they showed like the notebooks, okay. That makes sense.
And from what I've read of this, this has been building. It's getting a little bit worse every time. It's stewing a little bit more. So I think that maybe they're ready to show RE4 remake and just pretend like the original RE4 doesn't exist anymore. And they just-
Right.
what are you talking
Yeah.
about? I have never.
Right. What do you mean? This is the
I
only one
don't
we have.
steal anything.
All jokes aside, I'd be down for an RE4 remake.
Yep.
I'm a big Resident Evil guy now that I've played Resident Evil 8. So, I'm ready for it. RE4
Yeah,
remake.
same.
I heard it's one of the best games ever, very highly regarded.
Yep.
I think that'd be cool. Speaking of Resident
sure.
Evil 8, we thinking some DLC.
Oh, it's totally possible. They did DLC for 7,
Yep.
so yeah, I could see it happening. I don't know what it would be about, like whose perspective. Maybe from Chris
I was gonna say,
Redfield.
they kind of tied it
perhaps?
up in a bow, but maybe.
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
it's a Lady
Yeah.
Dimitrescu DLC? You get to play as her.
Haha,
walking
yeah.
around. Maybe the
take it,
Duke.
man.
You can be you can see what's going on
You're
with
the
the
Duke. It's just like a carriage racing.
Yeah, there's
Carriage Racing, yes, it's a spin-off game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crash
There you go.
Racing featuring the Duke.
Duke's Team
Yeah.
Racing.
Duke's Team Racing. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. I feel like they'll have Resident Evil 8 DLC, and whether or not they show it here, I would think this would be like a good opportunity to show it here. I don't know
Yeah.
what to expect as far as
For
when
sure.
it, when it would come out,
yeah.
but I feel like they'll mention
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Landy, how do you feel?
Definitely should.
What are your thoughts on seeing some Monster Hunter Rise updates or content here?
It's interesting. The last update was kind of, I guess, tie the bow around the story content, more or less, for the plot of Monster Hunter Rise. So, really interesting to see what path they take. As far as like previous or recent Monster Hunter games go, this was around the time where they started doing sort of event. I guess I call it updates.
Yeah.
It wasn't DLC. It was just event updates.
Yep.
Where there would be a monster and some kind of special game mode that you'd have to do, or a monster, and once you did the mission, you get to dress up as Dante. Devil May Cry or whatever.
I think they have mentioned they're
I think-
doing a Capcom crossover, aren't they?
Yeah, partnership.
So I
whatever
think
they call them.
that's the time for this. Now that they've kind of fulfilled the obligation to the story,
Yep.
to the fans, and they've already set up this trend of like, every 3 or 4 weeks we're gonna put out an update of something. I could see that continuing, maybe in less of a magnitude. Not putting in 4 monsters at once, but maybe putting in
Sprinkling
one
some
special
content.
event. Yeah.
I'm of the mindset. I was a fan of how they did the Monster Hunter Rise updates, but I'm also of the mindset that these update 2.0 and 3.0 were definitely done and ready when the game came out, and they just purposely parsed it out to make it last longer.
At least they didn't charge us for it.
Exactly. So I think this is a good opportunity for them to get a little more creative, a little weirder, because they're no longer obligated to, complete their game. Now they can start doing some more fun, non-canon stuff like crossovers and.
Exactly.
So I think that could be interesting.
Exactly. Yep. Agreed.
What about are they going to tease a new? What's Monster Hunter World 2? When's Monster Hunter World 2 going to exist?
That was
if
Monster Hunter
anything
Rise.
else comes out, if anything else comes out, it's going to be about that Stories game.
Monster Hunter Stories. Yeah.
That's
Right,
already confirmed to
which
be
should
discussed, I think.
Be out any day now. Honestly, I think right.
I can't remember if it's June or July, but it's definitely soon.
Yeah.
Coming soon. So if anything could have other content revealed for it in the realm of Monster Hunter, it would be that.
Gotcha. You played Monster Hunter Stories at all?
No, I haven't played any of those. Mostly just normal games.
Normal games.
Kind of the typical.
Really
typical.
high up looking of yourself. I played the normal.
The typical.
I don't play
the
those.
Typical what you guys
Monster
have come
Hunter
to know
games.
as Monster Hunter, not the RPG
Spin-offs.
Yeah.
Spin-offs that they're doing.
Sorry
for my terminology there for anybody.
Yeah, I will not tolerate hate speech on this while I'm hosting this.
Clearly, you just put me right on blast.
While we're still on Capcom, there's a couple other franchises I think would be interesting for Capcom to show. But I also don't think they'll show either of them, at least not in a serious capacity. One was a Mega Man. It's been a few years since Mega Man 11. They could, who knows? I feel like Mega Man's that smaller budget game that they just kind of make in the background to please some old fans. Like, okay, get up, stop. Okay, we'll make a Mega Man game. I don't care if it does well, just leave me alone. So they could do a Mega Man 12 or like a Mega Man X9. Who knows? Mega Man Battle Network.
We've seen that Metroidvanias do well.
They could easily make just a Metroidvania or they could make a Mega Man, a Super Mega Man-ass Mega Man game and just put it on the Switch. And it would probably do pretty good. Don't have to get creative. Just make or a Mega Man collect. They have lots of collections. Who knows what's left to make a collection of? Maybe is it Battle Network, the RPG?
Battle Network.
Yeah, I played one of those on the Game Boy Advance.
You're in it, man. You know all the lore.
What about Street Fighter? We seen Street Fighter 6?
It's been a long time since Street Fighter 5 came out, right?
I think they're about to add their last character for Street Fighter 5, so I wonder if they're ready to start talking about Street Fighter 6.
I bet they won't talk about it then.
Yeah.
Because why split the market like that?
Well, maybe they could.
Because then what's the expectation for?
Yeah, I'm not a big Street Fighter guy, so I don't.
No, me either.
But I don't know.
You don't have your deck. What is that called? The deck with the
oh man,
oh
button
yeah,
and the joystick.
That's actually how I play Smash. I play with one of those.
That's why you're so
everything.
bad.
That and a single sideways Joy-Con is what I like to use.
Right.
Sideways single Joy-Con.
Yep.
Not to be outdone, Mythical Games follows Capcom and Freedom Games.
Not to be outdone.
I don't have much to say about them. I don't know who.
Let's just move on. I'll be happy to see whatever they have done.
I will say Verizon has something here, and the only thing I'm interested in is if Verizon has some sort of 5G technology for streaming games that could be cool. It's not really my thing, but that's the only thing that could be of the even smallest sliver of interest to me. I don't know.
I mean, it'd be great, like a USB connector that lets you stream from your Switch without using like a crazy setup. You know what I mean? Or just something.
Yeah.
It just plugs in USB to whatever, and you can just stream.
There are some streaming games on the Switch, like Control. I think Resident Evil 7 was on in Japan for Switch. Hitman. Yeah, who knows? I feel like Verizon's just going to show some technology rather than actual.
Well, it's weird that they're there at all.
Yeah.
So.
It's just they're just throwing out cell phone plans. It's just not even.
Yeah.
it's just an ad spot. It has nothing to do with video games at all.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's move
Corporate
on to
greed.
Let's move on to the last day of E3, and probably I said I was excited for Square, but let's be honest, I'm most excited for Tuesday, June 15th, and that is the Nintendo Direct. I think it's 45 minutes, followed by 3 hours of a Nintendo Treehouse.
Yep.
I think the possibilities are endless here.
Yeah.
Nintendo has been notoriously quiet the last couple of years, very keeping their cards to their chest. There's a lot of guesses here. What's y'all's biggest one hope for this? What do you want to see?
To make it easy, I mean, I would really I've been wanting a Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD port. It's easy to say Breath of the Wild 2, yes, that's coming. I want something that I feel like is obvious, but or even said anything about or hinted at. So that is the thing that I want.
So while I think that does exist, because I mean, obviously they're on the Wii U. As far as ports go, I feel like it's a pretty straightforward port.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is if it's a double pack, putting both those games for 60, because that's not what they did on the Wii U. They sold those games separately on the Wii U.
Yeah.
So a double pack would be interesting to see from them. But also, how do you market Skyward Sword, which comes out a month later, by also announcing two less divisive, or maybe not to some people, but let's just say two less divisive, well-loved Zelda games in one pack.
That's a great point.
Well, and that's the issue here is while it's great that they're doing this port, I think they made people confused, me being one of them, because this is Zelda's 30th anniversary, right? And you expect it to do something similar to what they did for Mario, because it's their second biggest franchise. So it is strange that they announce, if they do have a Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ports of both, whatever, ready to go. It is strange that is not first.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what they're Zelda this year, but it has to be something. They have to be doing something else they can. So it's just with Skyward Sword being the I don't know.
Quick point on you said their second biggest franchise. I would argue, as far as prestige, I would argue Zelda is their biggest. Mario's obviously the mascot.
I wasn't gonna say that because I want to offend him.
Yeah, Mario's the mascot, but I think Zelda is their.
I agree with that.
That's their showstopper. Yeah. That they always have got to have a quality, big, huge. Zelda game.
Yeah. I think there's way less black eyes on the Zelda franchise than there are on the Mario franchise.
It has their fair share. Some of the weird, the high highs overlook the low lows, or those weird DS ones that I'm not a fan of, and
Oh, you didn't like
Spirit
the ship
Tracks
ones
and
and the train
Hourglass?
ones?
I'm not a
Phantom Hourglass. I thought it was fun. Obviously, through the lens of being 12, but.
What is your biggest hope, Landy? What do you want to see here?
Well, I would just like to start by saying that, and maybe you might counterpoint with some facts, but just from my experience,
I don't have any facts for you. I'm sorry, but I'll have some opinions.
Yeah, I know you're all about no facts, but the Treehouse to me seems like what they usually do after announcing something big, and then they kind of play through it a little more and dig into it. I remember they did it for New Horizons on Animal Crossing, where they announced it and it was so exciting. And then they treehouse for way longer doing gameplay and stuff.
Yep.
I think the easiest thing would be to do that for Skyward Sword, but it almost doesn't make sense in a way. I don't know. it seems like they're going to be playing something at the Treehouse that's
for sure.
ready to go.
Yeah,
so it makes the most sense for it to be that, but I'm not 100% sold. I'm hoping that
shout.
My expectations for the Treehouse. So normally, Nintendo goes early on in E3 and they show stuff throughout E3 on the Treehouse, and they do repeat themselves a lot on the because like 3 days. They don't show 3 days of content. They like play Animal Crossing every day.
Right.
What's interesting with this is it's 1 day and it's 3 hours. They're going to have to be a lot more choicey about what they show. I think we will see Skyward Sword and like Mario Golf. Some of the stuff we know is happening. They're going to show some gameplay as basically an advertisement. And I think obviously they're going to show something new, something they announced. They're going to a big game. I don't think they'll show Breath of the Wild 2 in Treehouse, but something smaller. Like maybe if they announce like a 2D Metroid, they might show some gameplay of that.
Cool.
Or what other smaller games could they show? They could show.
That's a good question.
What's we even knows coming out for them?
Well, like a WarioWare maybe. A WarioWare
that'd be fun.
game.
Yeah, a WarioWare little mini game thing.
Treehouse.
Yeah.
How about
I think in a Treehouse they usually bring a lot of.
Well, I'm not sure what the setup is going to be. If it's going to be a remote in Treehouse, like are they going to have a guy on Zoom like?
Well, they could have a
WarioWare?
studio like with a few people.
They probably could, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember for the Animal Crossing Treehouse, it was like the Treehouse was conducted by a translator that was like translating for Animal Crossing developers while they were playing.
The best and worst part of Nintendo Treehouse is you have to listen to everything twice. You've got to like hear it, and then they tell you again, and then they hear it and tell you again. But I think it's pretty funny.
But that's the live aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
So doing it live. So I have high hopes for whatever that kind of untold game is, if it truly is going to be there, which I think it would be. So we'll just see. I'll see what it is.
My biggest hope for Nintendo, before I get into like my expectations, I guess, or what games I think will be there, my biggest hope is literally just something out of left field that I had no prior rumors or leaks or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like just something completely out of left field that excites me. And they normally have one of those. And I'm really hoping
that's what makes the show interesting. I feel like everyone should have one of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited for. But as far as stuff to expect, I mean, I feel like we're going to see Breath of the Wild 2.
Hopefully.
They might. I think they're either going to. I think they'll end it. I don't think they'll start with that. I think they'll end with that.
Yeah.
And
coming out end of next year.
I think we'll get a release window. I think we'll get a official name so we can stop calling it Breath of the Wild 2, and they can stop calling it the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I think we'll get some gameplay.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot.
I think they'll show like a good 5-10 minutes of it. I really do. And
I hope so.
Because I don't think it'll come out this year. I think they're gonna show you it's doing good. They're gonna be like early 2022, and then they'll go from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are we feeling about Smash? We get a Smash character revealed?
I think it's very easy to assume that we will.
Yeah.
We bet that we will.
What better place do you have to show a Smash character?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, and I wonder at that point if they're doing a little mini presents, type deal, or are they just showing a trailer? Like what are they doing there? When's it coming out?
So I was excited when they showed Smash. I think it was E3 2018. But that was like 25 minutes of the 45 minutes. They like went way too in depth.
Yeah.
I don't know how in
true.
depth they'll go with whatever Smash character they have. My hope would be the classic: show the character, show the trailer, and be like, and you can watch Sakurai talk about it for 30 minutes in a week.
In a week.
Yep.
And then I'd be like, okay, that's great. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think one character's guaranteed.
I think that's all we'll get.
I don't think they'll show both characters because there's presumably 2 left. I feel like they're going to want to save that for another knockout punch at a later
Well, because, if we're assuming that that's the last character that's getting added, because we have to keep assuming that until they tell then, they need to make a big...
Yep.
So, I don't think this would be the venue to do that.
Other games I want to see, there's been the rumored Fire Emblem remake. Fire Emblem 4 is the next one on the plate. I would love to play Fire Emblem 4. That's a very dated game as far as the gameplay and like how it works. So I'd be interested to see how they make that work in a modern context. But it's a very good game, and it's not been officially translated in English. So that'd be interesting to see that. I would like to see the new rumored Donkey Kong game. Hasn't been a new Donkey Kong game since the Wii U. I think that could be cool. Whether it's a 2D game or a 3D game, I don't care. Donkey Kong, Fire Emblem, Zelda. I don't think we'll see a new Mario. I don't know. I think we got plenty of Mario last year.
I think that would take away again. That'd be too.
Yeah.
This has got to be Zelda's year at some point, so they need to show more.
Yeah, I agree. Mario Kart, probably not either. I don't think Mario Kart is...
It's a stretch. Yeah.
Stretch for sure.
Yeah.
Y'all have any other Nintendo thoughts? Any predictions?
Let's see. I don't think this will happen, but I don't know what the kind of... Like, how closely related are these Nintendo Directs to anything Pokemon related, or does Pokemon tend to do their own thing? That's kind of something I'm curious about. But if we see anything, it would be cool to get some more about the Diamond and Pearl remake.
Yeah.
I'm curious if they have added anything.
Yeah.
Made any kind of good updates, or like added some post-game stuff, or I don't know.
My thoughts on Pokemon are dwindling because I thought what we would see from Pokemon would be Arceus gameplay. And the reason I don't think we're going to see it is they announced the release date a couple weeks ago, and they didn't show any new gameplay. And a lot of people were like, I wonder if they're going to show the Switch Pro, and they're going to show all the gameplay for that game on the Switch Pro. And that's why they haven't shown it yet. Shown it again. I rephrase. So
that's...
My thought was, if they did show the Switch Pro before E3, they could show Arceus gameplay in depth at E3.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened, and I doubt they'll show the Switch Pro. They said there's not going to be.
They said no hardware.
They said software only.
Which I think they typically stick to that. When they say that, they mean it. Yeah. So.
But it's funny because they don't normally say only software at the event. It's like it's obvious that they know people are talking about this.
Yeah. Well, again, it's one of those things where no, and it's not like it's a secret that they're gonna have another Switch at some point. Yeah. So, but they're just trying to be clear, like, hey, I see this is what you guys are talking.
Yeah. It's not gonna
low for that. Yeah. So it's no secret that they're gonna come up with. Yeah. It's gonna happen eventually, and this is pretty much the year to do it. So, yeah.
I think we can all agree upon the biggest news to come out of Nintendo will be when they announce Samus for Fortnite at the Direct.
Sure, you'll be excited about that.
This is a space-themed Fortnite season.
Okay. If she didn't come in the Bounty Hunter season, like she's got to be here. Like, come on.
If it's not in the Bounty Hunter season or the space season, it is not happening.
Yeah, absolutely right. No way after this.
Yeah. This is the chance. This is the last chance.
Yeah.
How we feel about are we going to see a teaser for Metroid Prime 4 at all? Or are we going to see an update, anything? Or B, we're going to see some Metroid Prime trilogy announcement? Or do those go hand in hand?
That's the thing. I was going to say, like, I feel like they do, just because of, like, what we've heard. Like, it makes sense to the trilogy release as, like, another marketing, push for, like, hey, this is coming out, beginning of next year, but this is coming out in the trilogy, So, I don't know. I think it'd be more likely to see a 2D Metroid or something like that. I don't know about trilogy. I do feel like that's Metroid Prime 4, but who knows? What do you think, Andy?
What I was just thinking, and obviously, kind of what we were talking about earlier with Zelda sort of doesn't really lend too much credence to this, but maybe depending on how the anniversaries work out, I don't know how old Metroid is, but maybe
Same year.
Oh,
this is Metroid's year too?
Yeah, it's...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's kind of where my head went, where I was like, if it's the year of Metroid, but they've already said it's the year of Zelda, like, I don't know.
Metroid and Zelda crossover game.
Yeah.
No.
Legend of Metroid.
Yeah.
I think maybe you guys have some bit of history for me that I can understand. So, last year was Mario's 35th.
Yes.
This is Zelda and Metroid's 30th?
35th.
It's 35th as well?
Yep.
Okay, never mind then. I thought it was 30th.
It's Donkey Kong's 40th, if you count the original Donkey Kong.
Fair enough. Maybe he's getting something.
I mean, I want to see an original Donkey Kong remake. A modern interpretation of the original Donkey Kong.
Yeah. I would like to see, as far as Donkey Kong is concerned, a 3D, like, I want to be careful when I say it, Odyssey style, like,
If they made
free-roaming.
If the Odyssey sequel was Donkey Kong, I would be over the moon.
I would like to see that more so than the 2D Donkey Kong.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not big on the 2D Donkey Kongs, so yeah.
If they just made like Donkey Kong Odyssey, and it was just like it's like the origins of New Donk City, how it came to be. It's like a prequel. I'm there.
Easy.
I really hope we get to see the rumored Donkey Kong game if it's real.
I'm sure some Donkey Kong game will be real at some point. Will be shown. Point. Yeah, who knows?
I'm feeling pretty good about Nintendo's E3. I'm pretty confident we'll see Breath of the Wild 2. I'm pretty confident we'll get a name. The name will be something exciting, I'm sure.
Or something totally. We built it up for.
I'm thinking it's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Blank or Blank of the Wild.
I think Breath of the Blank is more likely.
Breath of the Blank?
Pretty straight.
Yeah. I always thought the one that, what was it, Breath of Darkness? That sounds pretty cool.
It sounds too... It
on
sounds
the nose?
like they... Well, yeah. It sounds like they sat in the meeting room for 4 minutes and they're like, this one? And then,
Breath of Ganon.
Yeah. Who knows?
Breath of the zombie mummified Ganon.
What if they tried to do some crazy... timelines, be like Breath of Twilight or something goofy.
Just throw everyone for a loop. What if this is just? What if Breath of the Wild 2 is just a 2D side scroll like Zelda 2?
Never happened.
It's just 2D side scroll like Zelda 2, and it's
But it's like the same graphics as what we've seen, but you're locked in.
Yeah.
Rolling. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And it's also fully open world, but only 2D side scroll.
In 2D.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Don't put that in the. Don't put that thought out into the world.
Any other hopes or expectations for Nintendo?
I mean, we could talk all day about it, but I think for
Lane, do you got any crazy predictions?
Waluigi for Smash.
Waluigi
for Smash. Waluigi for
Smash. Wah.
I'll play some Waluigi if he's a Smash character.
Yeah, for sure.
And he looks very dapper in Mario Golf.
Mario Golf.
Dude, that could be the alternative costume. Like Wario has like the biker costume. Like that could be his. The Mario Golf. Anyway.
All of his sport outfits.
Yeah, that'd be good too. We've talked about that in the past. I mean, there's just so many options out there. It's
really is.
A rough field for them to harvest, and they're just leaving it out to dry.
Yeah.
So, after Nintendo, we've got the biggest show of the day. We've got Eureka Games.
Keep moving.
I'm just kidding. I think that's about all we've got here, unless y'all have any final thoughts.
I think we also... Bandai Namco is there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had that. I messed it up. I had Bandai Namco above my Nintendo stuff.
Oh.
All I have for Bandai Namco personally, if we don't see Elden Ring at any of the previous events, it would make sense to see it here.
That is all I care about from Bandai. I don't even know what else they could
They've got a lot of anime fighters and anime related, maybe a Dragon Ball game or something. I don't know.
No, I don't care about any of that. I just want Elden Ring. That's all I want.
Elden Ring.
Let's be honest with you right now. That's all I care about.
I mean, how else do you follow up Nintendo? I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion. But if you drew the short straw to have that time slot, you gotta follow it up.
Oh, that's Konami. Never mind. That's not bad.
Yeah, and then I mean that's actually kind of important because depending on what Nintendo shows, like, and then what they plan to treehouse, I could really Bandai could get like 2.
Yeah,
they could all be on.
Well, they did. The way this E3 works, because it's a special case, events cannot and will not overlap. If they're
but
E3
Nintendo
event,
still have their own.
Yeah, they've got Nintendo has 4 hours. And then
Yeah,
after everyone
yeah.
sees 4 hours of Nintendo, Bandai's going to show up and people are going to be like, I'm kind of tired. It's like past
Yeah.
lunch. I've got to go eat.
Until they show Elden Ring, and then I'm wide awake again. So, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see Elden Ring at Games Fest, Microsoft, and then Bandai Namco.
Right.
3
All
different
three.
Trailers.
Yep.
Three
Three different trailers.
Yep.
We just see the whole
Gameplay.
game,
The
basically.
whole game. Whole game.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts on E3 this year? You excited? What's the excitement / hype level at?
Ooh.
What's the
I mean, I'm
scale?
at a. Depends. I don't know. I don't like to get my hopes up, but I'm at a solid like 7. Like I don't want to get my hopes too much. I'm more for the games that I'll be playing rather than. But
That's
I
a good
think
point.
that
It's like a safety
yeah,
net.
yeah, exactly. It's just kind of right. E3 will be there, and I'll be watching the whole stuff. Unfortunately, like I may not even be able to watch the Nintendo one live. Watch it because I'll
Take the
work,
day
but
off. Take the day
well, I've
off.
already taken 2 days off, so
Take
for
more. I
this.
took the whole week off. Let's go for
Yeah,
it.
I know you did, but I'm not going to be able to do that. But which is fine.
I'll spoil
honestly,
it all for you. I'll update you.
that's honestly, I may just have you do that anyway. To sit there in limbo, not knowing what's back and. Honestly, like Square Enix is what I'm probably the most excited for. Outside of Nintendo, like during my actual vacation, things I could
Yep.
absorb completely. Square Enix is probably what I'm most excited for. So we'll
Yep.
see what they come up with.
What about you, Landy? Where's the hype level at? 0 to 10.
I'm just excited because I feel like since it is like an online E3, you won't have to watch things through like a certain lens, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of like
They'll be
whatever
very
media outlet
well
was going to be putting
curated.
it, but
They'll be well
exactly,
curated.
it's completely controlled and sort of is going to like in a way benefit everybody involved versus not being like the Nintendo people will only showing Nintendo stuff versus like everybody's going to kind of have this timeline that they're forced to watch in a way.
Yeah.
So having that and that it's all going to be available, those two things together are just going to seal the deal for me. I mean, even if most of the stuff isn't too interesting, at least it's accessible, right?
Right.
And I don't have to go out of my way to find it. So that's why I think I'm pretty excited about it.
There you go. I'm having the constant struggle of not wanting to get my hopes up, but also it's the only E3 the last 2 years, so it's like
Yeah.
it's almost
Well,
like you wonder
yeah,
if stuff
but-
is stuff that got held back last year. Maybe it's ready this year. Then stuff that would have been ready this year might get shown anyway. So maybe
Yeah.
it's almost like the thought of maybe it's 2 E3s, but no,
Right.
You got to keep your hopes down and
Yeah.
understand. But
Yeah.
it could just be whatever, and I'll be playing Final Fantasy and Ratchet and Clank, and I'll be happy anyway.
That is exactly what I plan to
some
do.
white noise in the background.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I gotta hit him with the thanks for watching here. Gotta do the tradition, put it up here, up over Landy's face.
Over Landy's face.
Thank y'all for joining me. This last second E3 reaction, not reactions, predictions video, expectations, hopes. We can reconvene here in a week or two and talk about all the cool stuff we're excited about from E3.
Yep. What we were right about, what we were wrong about, all
Yep.
that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Well, with that, everyone, thank you for watching. Catch us playing some Smash Bros. Sometimes on Sundays at twitch.tv/dailybeaten. And I will catch y'all on the flippity flop. Adios.